Let's pull 3 cards for your day today, Thursday, March 19th. I'm using Rider-Waite deck this morning. First card is the 9 of Pentacles. Well, congratulations on your abundance because you've achieved some remarkable progress here. And today is a day to stand in that and appreciate the wealth that surrounds you, even if it's not entirely visible in terms of material things. Pentacles represent the material world, but our wealth is also internal. It's also relationship related. It has to do with community, and it has to do with just how much progress we have achieved in the course of our journey. So notice the little tiny snail at the bottom of the card here. It suggests that progress continues, but it's slow, it's steady, and it may not even be visible in the moment. But you don't need to worry about that because it's happening whether you are exerting yourself or not. And the choice is yours, whether or not to let your energy fly, so to speak. Look at the falcon resting on her left hand, on this gloved hand. Falcons have power. They can create damage if they're not expertly handled, but she is totally comfortable in this moment. And she knows she's not going to unleash the ferociousness of her will until the timing is absolutely right. And that's fine. There's no need to rush in this card. There's no need to go, I'm not enough yet. I'm not there yet. What's next? Where do I, this is a time to maybe take a breath, sit down, relax, and say to yourself, my God, I've come so far. This is a day to enjoy that. Let's hear what the next card has to say. And the second card gives us the Devil. Oh dear. All right, I'm not going to alarm you with this card. It looks a little scary, but this is not a quote-unquote bad card. None of the cards in the deck are bad cards. They're simply informational, and they point us in the directions that we're best suited to go in this moment. So, Devil is our shadow side. This does not contradict the card I just drew, congratulating you on your abundance. What it does do is say that the shadow is always lurking. So, be careful as you enjoy this abundance not to slip into some of the attitudes perhaps that people with great abundance sometimes fall prey to. Oftentimes there's, like I said, a grasping. There can be a tendency to not be fully satisfied with what you have, to want to go and just amass more. That's where our experience of abundance can get flipped on its head. And rather than using this abundance to enjoy our experience of material reality, we can use it to manipulate reality perhaps. Perhaps we're going to use it to leverage people around us, or we're going to use it to leverage our ego and make ourselves feel better than people around us. There's all kinds of possibilities that can come into play when you have any kind of abundance and you start to let that form your identity rather than understanding that material things are energetic containers. They are means of exchanging energy. They are not meant to give us an identity or a personality or determine our worth. So don't be mesmerized by shiny gold things. They don't tell you whether or not you're a good person. They don't give you any kind of special license to go around and create havoc in the world. They're just for you to enjoy and appreciate the experience of being human. That's what we're here for. So use them as part of your learning. And if some shadow stuff starts to reveal itself or come up to be processed in this moment, you've got this pause here that you can kind of take to contemplate that and do a little inner work. That's all this means. So the devil's not coming for you. And even if there are some egoic constraints rearing their ugly heads in this moment, notice that the chains around the necks of these two figures are loose. They can slip them off at any time. The ego is imaginary. It can run us around if we take it too seriously, but it is not our inherent worth. So let's see what the third card has to say. This is fascinating today. Okay, and the final card gives us Judgment. And it's upright. So Judgment following the Devil card, that could seem really intimidating, right? But I really love this because these figures coming out of the graves at the bottom of the card, we call the card Judgment, but that's not what's really happening here. These are the parts of ourselves that have been suppressed, that have been banished, exiled out of our experience because they either were too dangerous to coexist with the parts of us that needed to keep us safe and needed to survive in the world, or they weren't welcome in our community, something like that. So all of the parts of yourself, your inner wealth that may have been suppressed or denied out of your experience, they're being called home. And I think that's what this pause is about in the first card, is it's time to kind of really take stock of what in me wants to present itself. Now that I've got a measure of security, now that I have a little bit of time to pause and assess my life, what do I want to do with that? And what parts of me the authentic parts that really want expression. And this feels to me like a creative impulse or a talent that for whatever reason you haven't pursued, but there's always been that inner longing. Maybe it wasn't practical. Maybe it wasn't going to earn you a living. Maybe you always wanted to play electric guitar in a band or something. You know what it is. It's being called up. It's being called home. It's being encouraged to come out of hiding and be seen and fill in the blanks in your personal expression, in your experience of yourself as a whole being. This is a celebratory card to me. And I think the devil just kind of showed up to remind us to just stay cognizant that some of what is suppressed can be a little bit on the dark side. It could be impulses that we're not fully comfortable with because we don't know how to integrate them yet. There could be some integration work or some shadow work stemming from old wounds that needs to be attended to, but know that that's going to unlock some gift here, some part of yourself that, like I said, it's been hidden too long and it really wants to come forth and be seen. And I think it has something to offer you that's going to be quite joyful, quite fulfilling. There's a certain kind of joy that can arrive for us when we stop caring so much about outside opinions, and when we come from our inner authority, when we come from our inner wealth, we realize that, life is, at least this life, is short, it's finite, and why not use my free will to create something beautiful that I can really enjoy instead of having to meet the expectations of, or what I think are the expectations of the people around me. So what a beautiful spread today. So to sum up today's very interesting spread, the Nine of Pentacles says that you've built some real abundance here, so stand in it, enjoy it. Your progress continues, slow and steady. That's that snail at the bottom of the card. And power is yours to control. This falcon on your gloved hand is there, but doesn't need to be rushed into action. You know exactly when to use it. The devil simply tells us that when there's a pause, sometimes shadow material can come up. And since we're talking about abundance here, that might be related to the abundance that you're appreciating right now. So don't let that abundance become your ego or your identity. And know that your chains are loose. You can walk away from that kind of thing anytime you want to. Material things are meant to serve you, not to run you around, and not for you to become that thing. Judgment, finally, shows up to tell you that the suppressed parts of yourself, the things that have been kind of kept under wraps because they weren't practical or they weren't welcome in your environment, are now being called up to nourish you, to sustain you, and even to go out and nourish the world as well. So your integration work, represented by the devil card, will unlock some gifts in you, and use those, enjoy them, pursue them, follow what calls you. Your inner authority is more important than outside expectations. I hope that informs and gives you something to work with today. Let me know if this resonates with you in the comments. Like, follow, and share. I'll see you tomorrow.